This is some weird scurry shit.
Oh, hell no, you guys have to see this. What the heck is that? That looks... Oh, hell no.
The Scariest Things Police Have Seen, Part 42. This story was sent to me by a police officer in California who wished to be anonymous. On June 17th, 2002, an air tanker crashed near Walker, California, while on a firefighting mission. The crash was even caught on camera. An officer saw the crash and ran to it. While running through the forest, he came upon 3 men in flight suits who seemed dazed and confused. He asked them if they saw the crash, but they wouldn't respond to him. Since they weren't helpful, he continued on. When he got to the crash site, he found that all passengers on board were killed. There were 3 men on board that plane. The officer went back to where he saw the men in the forest, but he couldn't find them anywhere. No one else who responded to the crash site had seen them. The officer then realized that the 3 men he saw in the forest were the spirits of the crew members that died that day.
This old lady killed so many people. Baba Anushka, she loved chemistry. And when her husband died, she was like, I'm gonna make the house into a laboratory and sell potions. So a bunch of girls came to her and they were like, we don't want our husbands to go to war. And she was like, I can make them really, really sick so they don't have to. And they were like, yeah, do that. So she started getting really, really popular. But then all the girls were like, we actually don't like our husbands. Can you do a little more? And Baba Anushka was like, yeah, I can kill them. So then all the girls were like, oh, we like this. So Baba Anushka made these deadly potions, gave them to the girls gave them to their abusive husbands, and they were dead in like 8 days. And Baba Anushka would do this thing where she'd ask the girls, how heavy is the problem? Which was code for, how heavy is your husband? Because I gotta make sure I put enough in it, mama. She was so successful that she hired a sales agent to go into town and like sniff out people with marital problems. But this one girl fucked it all up. After she killed her shitty husband, she used another potion to kill her new husband's rich uncle. And the police were like, can you explain this? And she was like, it was Baba Anushka. Baba Anushka was like, are you fucking kidding me? But she ended up getting out of jail and then living to 100.
I feel like I've already seen it. I know, I feel it too. Oh my god, I do. Yes, so do I. Oh my god. 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 It came out right away. Yeah. Oh my god. It hasn't even been a minute. Okay, let's wait it. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Chatting with strangers on the dark web. Yeah, I said that right. Today we're going to be chatting with some strangers on the dark web. Alright, let's get started. Okay, so I found an article and here's a couple chat rooms we can use. By the way, notice how it says .onion at the end. You actually cannot open .onion on Google and I'll show you. If you paste this into your Safari or something, it actually won't load. But if we paste it on Tor, watch this. Alright, now that we're connected, we can see there's about 195 people on the dark web chatting and we're just simply going to click random chat. I matched with someone, I said hey, and they said hello. He said how are you, and I said I'm just exploring, and he said exploring what? I said the deep web, and I'm trying to find as much stuff as I can. And he said I believe I can help you find what you're looking for. This is when things start to kind of get crazy. He said over the past couple years of me chatting, I built up a pretty impressive link list with certain things on them. I said what kind of things, and he said anything from government files, UFO leaks to Red Room. I said I thought those didn't even really exist, and he said believe me they exist, do you want to see? I said can you send me some links on Telegram, and he said sure. I can follow for part 2.
I am going to be telling you the story of the Silent Twins by the names of June and Jennifer Gibbons. When the girls were toddlers, they barely ever talked, but the pediatrician said that it was common for twins to be behind in communication skills compared to other children. By the time they were in elementary school, they would only say one-word sentences every couple days. Jennifer would write at the level she was supposed to, but June would not. They started to be bullied in school for not talking, which led them to become so quiet they stopped talking to their family. The mother would listen in on them, and she could hear them constantly talking to each other behind closed doors. So they could talk, but the parents said it sounded like a foreign language. They then started walking in a single line with each other. They looked exactly matched up. The feet hitting the ground at the same time, the arms swinging at the same time. They would stand up and sit down at the same time. Each bite of food and each drink would be taken at the same time. They were perfectly mirroring each other in every single movement. Stay tuned for part 2. This is part 2 of the lady in my room who would sing me lullabies to get me to go to bed. No one else in my family could see her. She even told me that she was my mom. I really believed her. If you remember, my mom passed away when I was 2. So, it seemed pretty real that it was my mom. I didn't really remember what my mom's face looked like when she passed away. And this lady, could be my mom. She continued to sing me lullabies every single night when I would go to bed. She would always be waiting for me in the window when I would get home from school. But I figured out pretty quickly it wasn't my mom. My mom was a sweet, kind-hearted person. This spirit was evil. She would get mad at me every single time any of my friends would come over. She told me she could see my future and that I was going to go to hell after I died in a car accident. It scared me so much, but no one believed me. It got to the point where I never even wanted to go in the car because I thought I was going to die. She convinced me I was evil. Stay tuned for part 3. That's
How to Traumatize Children, Part 6. In a 1994 episode of The Magic School Bus, Miss Fizzle takes her entire class on a road trip to outer space. The class visits each planet, using the Magic School Bus, which at the time served as a spaceship. While on Pluto, Arnold, the naysayer of the group, loses his cool and throws a temper tantrum. What surprises us, however, is that Arnold decides essentially to kill himself, taking off the helmet attached to his spacesuit.
Scary Things You Say Part 23. My son said to me, "Remember when I was Uncle Maury?" That was my brother. His name was Maury. He died when he was 33 and my son was born 5 years later. When I was little, over a year old, my mom was walking down the stairs. I told her, "Be careful, Mommy. That's how my husband died." What the heck? Babies know everything. I was 5. I found it out because my little brother talked to me, but no one believes me. He said, "I know your pain." I was screaming. My son was 3.5 years when he told me how much I was crying for a baby. He'd say, "God told me to wait because it wasn't my time." This is so I find it fascinating, actually, not scary. Mine asks why the little boy that lives with us is always sad. I had a miscarriage prior to having him. Oh, this is so sad. My 6-year-old niece once asked, "Where were we before we were here?"
Well, guess who else is pregnant?
You? You're fucking lying. You're fucking lying. You're lying. You're lying to me. Are you serious? You're lying to me. Oh my god, you're lying to me, you fucking bitch.
Welcome to Disturbing Myths You Didn't Know About. You might have heard of the Minotaur, the half-man, half-bull creature, but you probably don't know how it came to be. One day, King Minos wanted to sacrifice a bull to the gods, so Poseidon sent him the most beautiful white bull that emerged from the sea. But Minos thought that the bull was so beautiful that he couldn't bring himself to kill it, so he got another bull to take its place and kept the bull that Poseidon sent him for himself. Now, Poseidon got mad at Minos for being disobedient and not sacrificing the white bull like he said that he would. So he cursed Minos' wife, Pasiphae, to fall in love with the bull. This is where it gets disturbing. Pasiphae got an inventor to make a hollowed-out wooden cow for her to crawl into so she could fulfill her twisted fantasy. She eventually gave birth to the Minotaur, who had the body of a human and the head of a bull. Then, outraged, King Minos trapped his illegitimate son, the half-man, half-bull creature, in a maze, which is commonly also known as the labyrinth. Make sure to follow to see what happens next.